Hi everyone, I am Priyanka. I am the jewelry editor at Vogue India, and the fabulous ladies joining us today literally need no introduction unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of weeks. Whether you tuned in to love them, hate them, judge them, no one is being able to say they have not binge watched the entire first season of the fabulous lives of Bollywood wives on Netflix. Mahib, Seema, Bhavana, and Neelam, welcome to today's chat.
Thank you,
Hi.
Priyanka. Thank you.
Like everyone else, I have binge watched the show, and I think it takes a lot to put yourself out there. So I have to ask, how did it all come together at this stage of your lives? What prompted you to do a reality show? I mean, more than just Karan, what is it that pushed you into saying, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next few months? How did it all materialize? Is what I'm dying to know. My quite
Who's taking this?
Who's taking this?
Seema, Mahi, anyone?
Okay, I'll take it. So, this show at this point in our lives, we weren't looking for it, right? It just kind of fell in our laps. We were very set in our routines. You're in your 40s, you're comfortable, you kind of, you know what life is going to pan out like. You're not kind of looking for anything. We didn't go out there looking for it. But
Right.
when it did come to us, at first it was a little bit of disbelief. Like, really, is this really going to happen? Like Karan said, this is happening, and I was like, okay, but very like superficially okay, because somewhere deep down I didn't really believe it.
Right.
But then when it started to materialize, I think I was the first one on board because I discussed it with my son Nirvan, and he was like, you know what, mom, it's going to be fun because you're doing it with your four best friends. It's Karan, it's Netflix. How can you say no to Dharmatic and Netflix? I mean, are you nuts? So I kind of got these girls, and it snowballed into all of us saying yes. And we discussed, we had long conversations, we weighed the pros and cons. And I think we all got into it for the fun of it, like just to have a story to tell. If nothing else would come out of it, at least we'd have this story. And how many people really get the chance to do that? So
Absolutely.
we kind of just jumped into it like that. There wasn't so much of thought or planning behind it. The idea was just to be true to ourselves and have a blast, which we did.
Now, you say that Nirvan kind of pushed you into it, but what have the reactions of your other family members been to it? Were they being supportive? Were they nervous for you? How did all of that? Bhavna, let's start with you. What were the reactions of everyone in your family before and after it came out?
So before starting was disbelief also. It was like, oh yeah, whatever, this show's not going to happen. Mom, chill. It was like that. Mom, chill, it's not happening. But then when it actually started, materializing and happening, then I started getting a little nervous, and I was like, oh my God, should I do it? Should I put myself out there? And all the time I'm telling Chunky or Ananya, don't get bothered with trolls and don't get bothered with comments. Suddenly it was going to be about me. So was I ready with all that? So I wasn't sure, but they were extremely encouraging. Ananya, Raisa, and Chunky, all of them, and they were like, you must do it. It is something so different and amazing. You're going to be working with your friends. What better work can you ask for? And also, this wasn't a show when it was brought to us. It wasn't a show which was like, we are going to, act. A script was going to be given to us and we were supposed to act. Or secondly, it wasn't to prove anything. When we started doing the show, it wasn't like, hey, we are trying to prove that we are not so and so kind of people. We are this kind of person. It was nothing like that. It was just to be yourself. Just
Absolutely.
have fun, be yourself. How we would react in a situation if the cameras were off is exactly how we reacted when the cameras were on. So these kind of things, and then of course Netflix and Dharma being involved, made us all very, very comfortable and made the families also very comfortable.
Absolutely.
So I think it's all worked out very well. Both my girls are very proud of me. My husband is proud of me. My parents are proud of me. So it's all worked out great.
That's amazing. This has been quite a roller coaster. I can imagine just emotions wise of just having just so much attention all of a sudden on a show
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, it's quite
How,
insane.
yeah, how are you guys dealing with that? Just that sudden jolt of attention, Mahi. Let's hear from you about that.
Honestly, I don't know what's hit me, quite frankly. It started from the 13th with the trailer launch
Right.
at 3 o'clock. 3 p.m.
I think that's what
And
really got the just that
that just,
excitement. Yeah,
yeah, it just went to another level, and they were reacting so much to the trailer that I was a little overwhelmed with that. Then I was thinking, then people were saying, I hope the trailer is not so good. I mean, as good. I mean, the show is as good as the trailer. So
right.
that was also worrying me that, oh shit, maybe the trailer's the super hit. Then 27th, 1:30, by afternoon, the reactions I think we were all getting was just so bloody overwhelming.
I
I
can
think I've been on an adrenaline rush since then.
I can
And
imagine.
it's 2 weeks, I think tomorrow, day after, it's not even been like much time absorbing it still.
I
I'm
can
just blank, blank.
that. And what about you, Neelam? How are you dealing with all of the attention that it's getting? Are you all good with I mean, it's a lot to take in, and are you being able to deal with that attention all of a sudden?
So, since the show dropped, I haven't left my phone. I've actually been just staring at my phone and reading all the comments and the messages that have come in. I think when I was doing the show, yes, I knew it would be a big deal because I don't think India has seen something like this ever before.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, never of this scale, of this level. And I just think that people were starved of this kind of content. So now that it's out there, and I mean, listen, I've been part of movies, but the other three, hats off to them because they've really not faced the camera that much, and I'm sure they're getting flooded with all the love. So I think, yeah, the response that we've got, we're loving it, we're absorbing it. But did we actually expect this kind of love? Not really, to be honest with you.
That's
it's
what.
just been it's just been insane.
And also, just anticipating when it was about to come out, were there any fears? Was there a, oh god, I shouldn't have said that, or any scene that maybe you regret or would want to take back?
Well, here's the thing: when we were shooting for this, I don't think any of us were putting so much of thought behind what we're saying, what we're doing. We all were just, went with the flow.
Yeah.
And if there was anything, because it's Netflix and it's thematics, it comes with a certain sense of responsibility. And if by mistake we have said something, not that we did, if we have said something to offend anyone, of course it's not being kept there, because there is a certain sense of responsibility. It's not that kind of show where we're trying to pull each other down or be bitchy or gossip. I think people were expecting that, but I think they were pleasantly surprised. It's more about celebrating our friendship. It's all about our lives, our work, our family. So it was more about that.
And how much of it would you guys say was pure reality? Out of
All, every,
Everything,
All thing, all thing.
everything.
every.
all it was
Maybe a situation was created, as in like a
no,
lunch was
no.
planned or a dinner was planned. That was the planning part. But what happened at that lunch, what
Yeah.
we spoke, how anyone reacted at that lunch or dinner or in a situation was completely real. There was no script ever.
Okay, and basically, because you guys were being yourselves, there were no characters. Do you think you all were portrayed, or the parts of your personalities that were showed were as close to your real persona? As is there an aspect of your personality you feel didn't shine through? Mahi, why don't you start with that?
Well, I just think that it's still the tip of the iceberg, what you've seen of us. It's only 8 episodes, it's half an hour, 40 minutes each. There's still a lot more of us. But yeah, I think you got the essence of all of us.
Right.
That's come across really well. And we're also individual and have our own personalities. And I think the women are connecting to each one of us in different ways.
And so, can we expect a season 2?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
Fingers crossed.
Okay, great. No, I hope there is a season 2, because, like you said, I feel like we've just kind of seen the tip of the iceberg, and it'll be fun to really get into it. And also, again, while the show is receiving amazing feedback and is being binge watched by so many, it is also receiving some brickbats. And how do you think you guys are dealing with that aspect? I mean, the overwhelming amount of just positive stuff that's coming your way, it also comes with a lot of negative and a lot of trolls. And how are each one of you dealing with that? Bhavna, why didn't you tell me how you're, I mean, again, you, like you said, you've had to deal with it for Chunky and for Ananya, but what about yourself? How are you being able to deal with that?
Honestly, now that I'm in the situation myself, for me, I think it's been fine, quite frankly, because what happens is when there is a lot out there, okay,
Right.
and there is a lot of good and there is bad, of course. There's a lot of beautiful comments, lot of love. And somehow, this is something I have learned from Ananya and Chunky, both of them, is to concentrate on the love. And yes, you look, I'm reading everything. I'm reading all the comments, I'm reading all the reviews, and I have read the bad or the negative ones also. And it's human nature that negative things always track more. And they keep coming in your feed or on your face.
Absolutely.
But you know what amount of it is like genuine criticism and what amount of it is just being thrown at you for the heck of it. When you
Right.
read it, you realize it. And you need to just block it off. I've realized, because you can make up. Some people are just trashing it for the heck of it. What the beauty of this show is, and is like, for me with Ananya and Raisa, it's the youngsters. They have really enjoyed the show. Like Ananya's told me, Mom, my university friends, including the boys, have binge watched the show. You are telling us today you binge watch, and you are way
Yeah.
younger than all of us,
Yeah.
right? And I know your group of friends. I know Shan and everyone have all
Right.
watched it and loved it.
Right.
So when you hear things like that, then how is some nameless and faceless person going to affect you? That is what I have realized now. Yeah.
And also, I think the younger generation kind of understands reality
Yeah.
uh, I mean, much better. That they're more familiar with it and they understand the fun of a reality show. So I think that helps for sure. Seema, what about you? How are you dealing with the negative comments that
So
you
look,
might be
I
receiving?
always believe what you do comes with the good and the bad, right? I
Right.
mean, to be honest, I don't read too many reviews. I'm very bad with the phone. I'm very bad with all this. So I don't read too many. I hear a little bit from all three of them and whatever I get from my family. And quite frankly, I think I kind of just take it in my stride because I don't pay too much attention to it. My entire attitude towards life in general is to concentrate on the good. I kind of focus on the good and I prefer to live in that space. Call me living in La La Land. I don't care, but I live in La La Land. I rather live in the happy space than, drive myself insane and, let that affect me, because eventually it's reality. And if people start telling me things that, this is my personality, good, bad, ugly, this is it. So I
Correct.
don't want to, kind of be affected by that, which affects how I react. And that's not the way I want to live my life. So always, as a thumb rule in life, I concentrate on the positive and I just completely ignore the negative.
No,
But
I
it's welcome. I mean, it's a part. It goes with the territory. You get the good, you get the bad. So you got to just take it in your stride, and that's my attitude.
no, absolutely. And Neelam, what about you? How are you? What are you doing about? How are you dealing with that aspect of it?
So I'm not going to lie. Okay. In the beginning, I read a lot of good and I read a lot of bad. In the beginning, it was 50-50. I'm not going to lie, it did bother me. It bothered me a lot because I was so apprehensive of coming back and facing the camera again. So reading the good just took me to another high altogether. But when I read comments that, uh, okay, the only bad comments that I've really received was because of my accent and a couple of things about the show and whatever. It did bother me. It did bother me. I'm not going to lie about this. But I think you get used to it and you just accept that this is the way it is. Like Bhavna said,
Right.
there are people out there who are just out there to be nasty and mean, and it's okay. It comes with everything that you do. It's fine. You get used to it.
No, and I mean, like you said on the show, you've heard the criticism about your accent since you were in the movie.
I promise you,
Block
ever
it out.
since I started reading those comments, I get conscious when I'm talking, like, what am I sounding like? But this is the way I talk. I just wish those people did a little bit of homework before they write those comments.
Absolutely. And Mike, what about you? How are you taking in the negative? I mean, again, on the show, you said you don't mind if anyone says anything about you. It's the kids that,
The
you
kids
don't.
that bother me the
Yeah.
most. I mean, look, the show was on a very fine line. I was expecting a lot. I was expecting the worst. I quite frankly was pleasantly shocked that getting so much love and warmth from these women. I was taken aback, quite frankly. But there's a flip side to a coin. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to get you. And quite frankly, I don't get them either. So the feeling is really mutual. And I don't read them. I just don't read those comments. And those comments are so stupid. They're really stupid. I mean, there is a switch off button, but they're watching it all. They're watching
Right.
the whole damn
Yeah,
thing.
they're watching
So
the
the
whole
point is,
thing.
love us, hate us, you're not ignoring us, the job is done. So I'm
Yeah.
out. And another thing, they troll the biggest, greatest talent in this country. So I think I'm in really good company. I would be upset if they didn't troll me. So bring it on. I'm
Bring
okay.
it on. Absolutely. Now, speaking of the looks that all of you had in the show, how ahead did y'all plan it? How much importance did y'all give to the fashion, and how much of it was like how you would dress on a daily basis? Might start with you.
Completely. I mean, we didn't give it much thought. This is all very new for us. Maybe season
Right.
two, hopefully, if it happens, we'll sit a lot more and we'll pick up on. There's certain things that I didn't how like certain scenes I didn't like no like how I was looking. So I want
Right.
to correct that. But season one was we just jumped into the deep end. So it's completely our personalities. Our stylist used to come with the clothes, and I used to tell her, "Listen, this is not going to suit me." So we didn't give it. At least I didn't give it thought. I went with the flow, and I wore what was comfortable for me. So
Amazing. No, I mean, and that always looks best when when what you're wearing is you.
and
It's
comfortable.
exactly, absolutely. Seema, what about you? How much importance do you think you gave to the styling and the fashion?
So look, I'm not gonna lie. I love playing dress up, and my clothes matter a big deal, a whole lot of big deal to me. So I did kind of spend time on it, but not that much time because we didn't have that much time by the time by the time we decided and then we got into it. So it's not like we did a million fittings and we
Right.
looked at a million outfits. No, but the thing is, when my stylist came, I just took her into my wardrobe and I said, look, this is my look. This is what I'm comfortable with. I'm not that, I'm more grunge and I'm more that, kind of
Yeah.
edgy fashion. And I kind of played it down that way, and I did kind of. I mean, I love accessorizing and stuff like that. I'm all about the shoes and the bags and the makeup. But yeah, when I did see certain scenes, I was like, hell, did I put that much eyeshadow? I was in shock. I was like, hell no, that's not what I do. Like
What
really,
is
like
an outfit regret from the show? If you had to have one.
if I had to pick one. Honestly, I didn't have any regrets. I actually was very comfortable. My main thing was I wanted to be comfortable because as it is, I had cameras, which was
Right.
completely new to me. And then to be awkward in what I'm wearing. So I just wanted to be really comfortable. And I was. And I think, Megan, my stylist, did an amazing job. Like she got me to the T. Like she'd get me things that I would like, listen, Megan, this is way too girly for me. I can't do this. And she would, she kind of just pull something else and, put it together. But eventually I was really happy, and the entire, from the fashion point of view, it reflected me, like totally me, from the sunglasses to the bags to the everything. I paid attention to the detail. Why should I lie?
Absolutely. No, of
Yeah.
course. Bhavna, what about you? How much of the fashion was you and your style?
No, so I will have to be more like Maheep in this. I did not give that much attention to it. I also pretty much went with the flow. I mean, I just felt like, makeup is something I don't like to put too much makeup. And for the show, because the cameras are so strong and
Yeah.
they had a little line and pour, I was told. So I had to make sure I put a lot like base and things like that, which I'm not used to. So that was something a little new for me to have that kind of makeup on, because at home I am really, really casual. And
Right.
even when I go to lunches and stuff, even my dinners is more, I'm a very casual person. And so with my stylist, it was always like I would be like, let me wear like jeans and a t-shirt, or let me wear like my track pants and something. Like, I mean, in Doha, when we go shopping,
Yeah.
you will never catch me shopping like that ever in
Yeah.
heels, ever. I'll
Yeah.
be in my sneakers, I'll be in my jeans and t-shirt. That's how I shop. So
Right.
there were a lot of things which is not me. Like I would obviously everything was dramatized, and and you had to have that style quotient, or that makeup and hair. But I would want to be a little more myself. I don't know how he's going to do it. Sanju, I'm going to be sitting on his head, who's our stylist for the show, my stylist for the show. But I want a lot of more of me coming out, which is more casual than what was in the show. Like I would not be in dress and heels for a lunch. I wouldn't. So I'm
Right.
going to see how I can change that around in season 2 if it
And
happens.
make it more
Yeah,
your truest, real fashion vibe.
yeah,
That would
that's
be
what.
very idea. Neelam, what about you? Tell me about what you went through with your fashion choices. How did you come up with everything?
Well, look, my first condition was you gotta camouflage my arms, you gotta camouflage my tummy, okay? No fitted dresses. Um, yeah, no, I think he did a great job because see, my style is more classic, and um, I like to underdo. I like to dress under.
The
But
status.
he
Yeah.
said, you got to use the brighter colors, and it's going to look great on screen. So he did definitely take me out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like, for example, that opening shot where all four of us are walking. Okay, he made me wear this short dress, really short. Okay. And I said, I'm not showing so much of my leg. So he said, okay, fine, I'll get you these high boots. Okay, cover your legs, but you're going to wear this. So he definitely took me out of my comfort zone, and I think it just worked out well. I was happy with it.
That's. I mean,
But can I add, if there's one thing which I absolutely threw a fit with these girls, and Mahit will tell you, is wearing heels to the pool. I went insane because I am a beach bum and I don't even carry heels when I go on a beach holiday. It's not even in my suitcase. I went mad. So that's something that I don't regret it because eventually it looked good. So it was, it added the glamour to the whole shot and everything. But listen, I don't wear heels to the pool, dude. No
so
way.
I have to agree
who
with
talked you
Seema.
into
We
the
look
I went
mad.
mad.
heels? Who talked you into the heels? Who got you to wear them?
Mahit, please, I'm very sorry, but Mahit was always telling me to wear heels.
They, quite frankly, I'm not a heel person, but yeah, I just was very clear that we're in Doha and we have to be glamorous.
Yeah.
And who wants to see Bhavana in kids and tracks and Seema in chappals on the beach? Sorry, it's not going to happen. I'm organizing the holiday. It's going to be my way or the highway. So next
Correct.
holiday, they're all in heels again, and they'll be
Again.
complaining again next year, hopefully.
Hopefully. No, for sure. But Seema, you just mentioned it made, I mean, I can imagine must have been quite uncomfortable suddenly having so many cameras in your face. It is daunting. What was that like? What was it like to, just have cameras around you all the time? Do you think you were a little at any point conscious of what you were saying, or did you just forget that they were there after a point?
So look, you know what? We had kind of a trial run because we did a pilot. So I kind of got a feel from that. And between the time that we shot the pilot to the actual filming,
Right.
uh, the crew became like best friends. They became a part of my house. Like my dogs used to wait for Nikhil, he's the camera guy, and to come. Like he was like, it was like I became so comfortable with them that I didn't feel it. I didn't feel there was a camera. So and when you can only, because you're filming for hours,
Right.
you can't pretend. You can't, there's
Absolutely.
only that much you can pretend. After a point, I mean,
You
it's like
know,
being in a big boss
yeah,
house. Your true self does come out.
absolutely.
So I would say that the cameras, I totally forgot after a point because I felt like I was with a whole bunch of friends. It was like one big party.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Mike, what about you? Was it daunting for you? Did you or were you comfortable with having just cameras around you all the time?
Me?
Yeah.
Um, uh, again, initially we did that pilot, so I think it eased us into it. But in 5 seconds flat, you honestly just forgot about it.
Right.
I think we were all conscious in the back of our minds, obviously, that it was there. We didn't, what is very important for all of us, that we didn't want to be insensitive to anybody, even as a joke. Saying it in your closed rooms and your four walls with friends, it's a different thing. So
Absolutely.
I think we were just conscious of that, but other than that,
You're
completely
just yourself.
forgotten. Yeah.
And basically, when you do have these cameras around, were they around you guys for like months on end. What was the time span? When did you start? When did you stopped basically filming a little before COVID hit,
Yeah.
right? So,
We completed the shoot just before.
so what
Yeah.
was the timeline like? When did you guys start? How long were y'all filming for?
So there were always hours in a day, so
Okay,
it was like, we're going to be shooting, say, 2 to 5. And as I said, that only a scene or a situation would be discussed. What is
right,
going to happen in that scene or in that situation was never discussed. There was no script. So it
right.
was like we would just come and fit the cameras for
My
that much
audio
time,
is
the
gone,
4
guys.
hours. And I'd be
I see
sitting with.
everyone's
I
frozen.
lost behind.
No, so I
Sorry.
was saying, so they would just come and fit the cameras for that much time, the 4 hours or 3 hours.
Right,
And say, for example, if Chunky and I are doing a scene, like the one which is in the first episode, so we sit on the sofa and we start talking.
right,
Now, and we just start talking after like 15, 20 minutes, you're going to just start, you're going to be normal and just talk to each other like you would on any other day. And the cameras are like, they're not here. I mean,
right.
they're just there around. And people are, I mean, there are people, but you don't even feel the people. So after a while, it's like you sitting in your living room with your husband having a normal discussion. And
Right.
out of the 3 and 4 hours, they're going to pick up the best 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So
How
it gets
how
that real.
much of it was cut out and how much was eventually used?
I mean, you can put everything because if you see the show is
A lot of it.
30 minutes each, like
Right,
30 minutes into 7 episodes, and then 1 hour is the finale. And
right.
we must have shot for about at least 30 days, right? Each
Yeah.
More,
or more,
yeah.
maybe more, and into
30
4
is
hours each. Yeah.
not too
So
much.
So now moving forward, tell me about where each of you are right now professionally. What are you looking forward to next? Neelam, let's start with you.
So right now, because of COVID, I've taken a bit of a break. I mean, listen, I do my jewelry,
Yeah,
so so I'm looking forward to getting back to that because now things are easing out and cases and vaccines coming out, and I'm paranoid. So and luckily, thanks to this show, I've been getting a lot of inquiries for my jewelry. So I've got lots of nice things looking, to look forward to. And yeah, so I've got this, and hopefully, if season two happens, then that. So these two things.
lovely. Mahik, what about you? What's happening with you right now? What are you looking forward to?
Honestly, one thing 2020 has taught me is don't make plans.
Absolutely.
So we are just suddenly crawling back to normalcy with the vaccine around the corner and whatever. But yeah, I mean, first, hopefully, fingers crossed, if Netflix gives the green signal, season two, and of course, back to my jewelry and back to my life. So I'm looking forward to that.
Lovely. Bhavna, what about you? What do we have to look forward to?
So I have basically signed 2 films. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
Spread
Obviously
it,
not.
spread it.
I'll
Take
spread
your
it.
autograph.
Let's start
Right,
the rumor. Let's start the rumor here.
information and broadcasting. Go for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, so basically, I've got my brand Love Gen, and we had just opened our first store before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And now we've finalized 5 more stores all over India. So there's one opening in Indore, there's another one opening in Mumbai, and one in the north. So looking at opening 5 to 10 stores in the next 1 year.
That's
And
amazing.
we're launching our website soon. So growing the brand, and of course looking forward to season 2 if it happens.
Wonderful. Seema, what about you?
So look, I've actually been closed for most of the year thanks to COVID, but I've kind of gotten back to work for the over the last 2 months, and everybody knows I'm not a part of any rat race, right? So I work at my pace. So I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm still doing a lot of I do made to order, and I'm doing a lot of stuff off Insta and WhatsApp, and that's keeping my time. I mean, I'm totally consumed with that at the moment. And I've always been a part of the pop-up culture. I love doing
Right.
pop-ups. Like that one-on-one interaction is what gives me the high. So I'm
And it,
waiting for that to start. When that I'll be all over the place.
and how
But
was the
January.
lockdown for you? I mean, just in general. How did you spend it?
listen, I'm a very anxious, hyper human being. So I was thinking, how am I going to go into this mode of complete, doing nothing because I'm so hyper. But it's not been so bad. I'm not that paranoid. I've been very careful. But
Yeah.
I was overthinking initially and I was going nuts. So I was watching all these shows with subtitles because I couldn't watch anything else because my mind would wander. So I needed to concentrate on subtitles and stuff. And then this homeschooling took up most of my day. So I think between working out and homeschooling and a bit, pottering around the house, I kind of sailed through it. It
Absolutely.
wasn't so bad eventually.
I can imagine. So now,
Yeah.
what we're going to do, just to wrap up, is since you've all been so close for so many years, I'm going to ask a question and I want you guys to tell me who's most likely to fit into that attribute. So, okay, let's start. Who do you think out of all you guys would be most likely to have a secret tattoo?
Secret tattoo, Seema.
Seema, she
Emma
has.
it won't be a secret.
Yeah, it won't be a
Yeah,
secret.
but she's the one.
Nothing is a secret. Unfortunately, nothing with me is a secret.
I think secret tattoo would probably be Neelam because we would know.
You would
And
know.
she'd probably have a tattoo. A secret tattoo.
Who of you would you think is most likely to get into politics or would be a great politician?
Count me out.
Count me out as well.
No, I think Bhavana.
Bhavna. If
Yeah.
I were to choose amongst the three, I think it would be Bhavna for sure.
Okay.
Who of you?
You're very good with people.
People pleaser.
No, I didn't say that. I said you're very good with people.
Own it, Bhavana. Own it.
Okay, I'm the politician.
Who do you think has the worst temper?
Maheep.
Yeah,
Each one of us were different.
I think all of
Yeah.
us have seen everyone. I've seen Neelam with a temper.
Yeah.
I've seen Bhavna with a temper. I've seen Seema with a temper.
Yeah.
There's certain things that just trigger people.
Absolutely.
But
Maheep is just
Maheep's the
louder.
one who fires everyone.
Louder.
I definitely fire everyone because I have that much patience with them.
And I'm more like a soda bottle, I think.
Yeah.
Fizz and then I'm done. And then I'm done. But I need to get it out of my system.
So, which one of you would you say is the binge eater?
Neelam.
Neelam for sure.
That is unanimous. There's no discussion.
And then who is the health nut if Neelam is the binge eater?
Seema.
Seema.
Maheep. Actually, even Maheep. Sorry, Maheep also.
Yeah,
Both of
Seema is diet and conscious of the calories. I'm very paranoid about the food that I eat, and I'm very paranoid with my kids also.
Yeah, you just want it to be clean, basically.
Clean, healthy.
eating.
I remember this whole haldi thing has started, now. But I remember Maheep sending me this chopped haldi with lemon and everything like 3 years back, or 4 years back maybe.
Very, very this year.
Yeah. Not taking it seriously then.
My last and most important, who do you think is the group mom?
Mommy?
The group mommy. Who is the group mom? I feel like every girl gang has a mom that kind of puts all the ducks together and say, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going.
Oh, you mean the planner?
Yeah, who
The planner would be Maheep. She takes the initiative. She's very clear. I'm constantly confused. Neelam is like, she's there, she's not there. You got to kind of like shake her up. Bhavna goes with the flow. Maheep is very like, she decides. She's very
I
like,
get convinced in a second, basically.
like that also. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, girls, thank you so much. This was so
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to season 2, and then we will do another round of questions once.
Yes.
Lovely. Looking forward.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.